I give the facts. I'm not coming for anyone. I don't know. I'm kind of like, okay, Vicki, here's girls trip. And you're one of the ex-housewives that's brought back. You're not the OG here per se. I mean, we have Phaedra, Parks, we have, Darling, we have Dorinda.
Jill Zarin. I mean,
right. We have
Taylor.
We have heavy hitters here,
We do have heavy. I do have to say this though. I mean, I think to Vicki's credit, whether this is calculated or she's just, can't help but step in shit. I mean, I think she's putting in every effort to go, look, when I'm on, you guys are in the headlines. I mean, they're in People, they're in, Entertainment Tonight. I mean, she wants back on regular full-time TV. So Vicki I think she's giving it all she's got. And quite honestly, I mean, they need feuds. I love my Atlanta, but I mean, are you following much coming out of there?
No, listen, you need like real life stuff. Now, we probably have time for we have a minute for one more thing. I think what we should add to this chat is, let's talk, since we're on Girls Trip, let's stick with another Girls Trip cast member. Let's talk about Bethenny and Jill reuniting on a flight recently.
It sounds like they just happened to coincidentally be on the same flight. And then Zarin confirmed that she talked to Frankel about returning to the franchise on their flight, but didn't divulge details. We did talk, but I'm going to leave it on the plane. This is according to Zarin. I don't want to say anything else that could affect what might happen. But basically, it sounds like, things have been on and off. I mean, the last time I really heard a lot about them was when Bethenny showed up to, to Bobby's funeral, and then had reportedly brought a camera crew, and Jill was very upset about that. But that was it, and I think Jill kind of left this reunion as like giving no details of if Frankel will ever return. But of course it stirs that up. Like, did they talk about that? Would Bethenny be on a girls trip? Of course we don't know anything more about that.
Look, I believe that this is what I believe. I really believe, she kind of has almost said this to me before, but I almost believe, look, and not, I think Jill will say it. Like, I think Jill has learned, like, if you really want something, like, and you make mistakes, like, I think Jill has learned, I tape recorded Andy, I came after a bit. Like, I think Jill has sat out so many rounds and she really wants to be back in this world. And that is not a slight. It's just a statement. And I think Jill has learned, like, I got to follow the rules. Like, the stakes are now too big, because do I think we could do an OG show for RHONY without Jill fucking Zarin? No, I do not. I do think that, Andy has said before, is it true that, housewives get fired because they're too annoying, whether the audience loves them or not? Yes, that is true. I think Jill knows, like, quiet. She's learned. I am not talking about the OG show. I don't know anything about the OG show. I haven't been asked. I'm not promoting the OG show. I'm just keeping my head down until someone taps me on my back and says, here is your contract and this is the money and blah, blah, blah. If that OG show goes on without Jill Zarin, Jill, I don't even know. I don't know what Jill's future is. She's going to be so devastated in life. And I am not coming for her. So I just think Jill, it's a compliment, is like, the prize is the OG show, and just Jill Zarin to herself, don't fuck this one up, girlfriend. And I think she gets that. You know what I mean? And I think that ties into I think that ties into I think that ties into, like, yeah. But now I do think Bethenny has nothing against her, right? There's no bad blood with Bethenny Frankel. She doesn't care. But I do
a really cute photo together. They were sitting probably obviously in first class, and they were, it was from New York to Florida. And it seemed, I think it's all good. And I think, to your point, Jill has learned. She is finally, after years and years of wanting back in, she's back in. She's not going to fuck it up. And whereas Vicki Gunvalson can't help herself, I think Jill, Jill is wants back in on the the old, the original cast show. By the way, have you heard any inside scoop about if any of these shows are being filmed for New York? The OG cast for RHONY or the new cast? Have we heard anything? Interesting.
No,
because,
and I have something new to say. I have something to say, about
okay, well,
that.
tell us, because I'm curious. You and I had said months ago the timeline would be that they would want to start filming fall. I love fall in New York, by the way. That they'd want to start filming this fall in New York City. Really, this new friend group, at least. And I wonder if they're getting any closer.
Does that, and by the way, I just want to say one thing.
Okay.
I also, because I just Googled, I was looking down for a minute. There is stuff like People Magazine wanted to talk about this with Jill and everything. Like Jill joked there was no dead bodies, no turbulence. Like, look, I think Bethenny, she's running a multi-million-dollar empire. She doesn't care either. But I do think like this is all great. Do I think they really, look, Bethenny Frankel's not going to sit there and gab with Jill about Girls Trip. Like, it's not like, about the OG RHONY show. But I just think like, look, Jill, this is great. You're in People, you're in, Page 6. Shut up now. Stop talking about Bethenny. Because Bethenny's going to be like, I don't want you to milk this for like your 10 minutes every fucking time we like run into each other. So just Jill you've learned. It's good. You taped Andy. You talked about Bethy. She's playing this right. Girlfriend, props. Like she spoke to people. There's some quotes out there about this running with Bethenny. They're nice. Now we got to move on. And she is moving on. I don't see it 100 times here. Great. And so I just think Jill's, we all make mistakes in life, right? And you learn. Sure. So this time Jill is like, look, if you wanted to be back on this show, I will say this again. I think there was 0% chance of Jill ever going back to the other show. This OG show, I think there's 0%. We are not going to have an OG show without Jill fucking Zarin. I will say it again. So this time, this prize for Miss Zarin is real. This is real this time. Like this is going to happen. Just hold your breath, girl, for 10 more days, 20 more days. She's going to do it. Now, to your point, I haven't heard anything, but the one thing I want to take back is I was convinced, I think Andy even said this, that they were going to do the 2.0, this new show first. I stand by the fall time. That's what they wanted. And then they were going to do the OG show. This is my opinion and what I have been hearing.
Okay.
I don't work for Bravo. Sarah's like, okay.
Oh, I'm listening. Yeah.
But I have been here. Little birds have been telling me that they're having a hard time casting the 2.0 show.
Okay.
Which
we knew. And the 2.0 show, you mean, is the whole new RHONY cast. It's not the OG cast. Okay.
Right. I say OG and I say 2.0.
Okay, keep going because we've been hearing that now for the past like month or so. Okay, keep going.
Now, unfortunately, guys, just like, we have a new season of Southern Charm and everyone's in different relationships. Catherine's with Caleb. Just like the